So thank you very much, George, for being with us tonight and your inspiring message. We would now like to call on one of Paul Brandt's former teachers, Jenn Woods, on stage to introduce Paul and accept this award on his behalf.
Whoa, you're pretty tall, Kat. Hi, my name, as you can see on the screen, is Jenn Woods. Can't see you guys out there, so that makes me a little less nervous already. I'm still a teacher, and I'm still at Crescent Heights High School. Paul and I started there the same year, 1986. He was a young grade 10 little nerdy guy, and I was fresh out of the substitute pool teacher. And so we started there together. I taught Paul's older sister Jenna and his younger sister Sunny, and they've both moved on and done cool things too. And I knew Paul not as Paul Brandt, but as Paul Belaberzicki. And it was very interesting. I had this speech written out, and I'm going to keep my time as short. I was told how long I could be. But it was interesting because we had this conversation at our table tonight with our student Nora, who's from Sir Winston Churchill. And we were talking about, are you doing at your age, for Nora's sake, the people at our table, are you doing at your age what you thought you would be doing when you were 16? And out of the 9 people at the table, 2 of us are. I knew I wanted to be a phys ed teacher when I was 15, and I still am. But most of the people at my table aren't doing anything close to what they thought they would do. And I know when Paul was in high school, he was in sports. That's how I knew Paul. And I was also in charge of Students' Council. And he was one of those athletes. He played on the volleyball team. He played on the basketball team. And he was just kind of one of those gym rat kind of kids. And then it was in his grade 11 year that he made an attachment with the choir teacher at the school. At the time, it was Brian Farrell. And he suckered Paul to come into choir because they were looking for males. And he really, really found his passion. He loved music. And so he ended up singing at graduation, and that was the very first time that I had ever heard him sing. I'd seen him play ball, I'd seen him, volleyball, basketball, but I'd never heard him sing. And so he sang at grad at the Jubilee Auditorium, and I know that my colleagues and I were just sitting there going, whoa, we didn't know he could sing. Paul left Crescent and went on to university and became a nurse and worked at the Alberta Children's Hospital. And it wasn't until he went with some friends to Ranchman's and got into a singing competition that he even recognized his path took a different route. And as we were telling Nora at the table, what you want to be when you're 16 and what you are when you're 36 can be 2 totally different things. The difference for Paul is that he got this great education. And it's interesting to see now, as he's a philanthropist, so he does his music. He's recognized for his music. But if you read in the program, I'm not going to read all the things he's done, but he works with Operation Shoebox. He does Samaritan's Purse. He does charity work with the Alberta Children's Hospital. He does tons of things that are from his nursing background, and then he's added this music career on top of that. And then even he does the Canadian edition of Extreme Home Makeover. If you haven't seen his program, it's on TV. And so he is an amazing I call him a young man. He's a grown man. Funny how we always see people as young when we're old teachers. But I will always see him as that 18-year-old on the stage singing Amazing Grace at grad. I wish Paul were here tonight so that I could give him a big hug and tell him I was proud of him, because as a teacher in the system and have been there for 27 years, sorry, my grammar's not great. I'm a gym teacher. But that's okay. Our biggest hope is that we can inspire, impact, direct, guide, or even just challenge kids to strive for success. And that they don't take that mediocre thing, but that they strive for success. And it makes us so proud when we see people like George and Paul, and I'm sure Quincy, I'm going to hear his story, and it's going to be the same thing, that they just go for it, and then they do themselves so well. And Paul is a humble, charitable man of character, and I am very, very proud of him, and Crescent Heights is very, very proud of him. And we hope he comes to grad this year and speaks at grad this year. And we have a gift for him, and because he can't be here, do they have a video acceptance of him? Yes? So you're going to maybe see him. Sorry he's not here. I'm sorry he's not here. And I will accept his award on his behalf and maybe go see him and give it to him in person. So congratulations to Paul as Calgary Board of Education Distinguished Alumni recipient. Thank you.
Hey everybody, Paul Brandt here. Thank you so much for this incredible honor to be given this award. The CBE Distinguished Alumni Award it's a great feeling for me. I would be nowhere without my public education. You know, I had so many people, so many teachers that poured their lives and poured their passion and just excitement for the subjects that they taught into me and into my life that extended beyond the schoolroom a lot of times. Teachers like Brian Farrell and Jenn Woods, teachers like Trevor Waters, who were there and just there for me as a kid growing up, doing things that really helped me with my self-confidence, but also pushed me to places that they knew I could get to through their encouragement and their willingness to go beyond their job description sometimes. And you know, when I think about the journey that I've been on for the last 20 years of getting to follow my passions and do the things that I love to do, I often think back fondly to the times that I spent during my public education, especially in my high school years at Crescent Heights High School. I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing today if I hadn't had the dedication and support of great educators who were willing to just put themselves on the line and really care. And that was incredibly important to me for where I am. And I'm thankful to accept this award, but really I think that when it comes down to it, the recognition goes to my teachers, the ones who were there and were willing to believe in me and to push me to places that they could see me potentially reaching someday. Thank you.